Hi, and welcome to episode 35 of the Yoshi and Lucy Knit podcast. My name is Denise, and I'm coming to you today from Queens, New York. Um, let's see, it's been a while since I last recorded, so I feel really rusty and awkward in front of the camera. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Yoshi and Lucy Knits. On Ravelry, I'm Canary Song, and on Etsy, I have a yarn dyeing business, which is called Yoshi and Lucy. So yeah, it's been over a month since I last recorded. My last episode was recorded in May. I can't believe that. I thought that I recorded one in June, but I didn't. Just a lot of stuff has been going on, which I will explain later. And I just haven't been able to sit down and record, and I actually haven't done as much knitting as I normally do. So I realized when it was my time to record, since I record like every 2 weeks, I pretty much had like nothing to show. I had like one project and like one whip, and that's about it. So my co-host today is Tonka, if you see behind me. If you've been a long time viewer, he has appeared on another episode. It was actually a year ago this month. He was sick, and he had like bladder stones, so I had to have operation, and I had to like take care of him because my mom wasn't comfortable giving him medication. So I recorded an episode while I was here when he was recuperating. But yeah, it's been a year, and he's fine. He's like a normal cat. He just has to have the special food that the veterinarian gives to him, and he's still his normal grumpy self. Normally he's very grumpy with me, but right now he's sleeping. And if I'll disturb him, he'll probably like hit me. So I'll try not to. So yeah, I explained in my shop news at the end, like, what have I been doing? Why have I been like, not recording episodes? But I'll just do my normal episode. So I have like one FO and 2 whips. See, I already forgot. And some acquisitions and shop news at the end. So I finished my amulet shawl by Helen Stewart. Let's see, this is the right side. Yes. Here you go. So I really enjoyed this. It felt like it flew by until I got to the final lace section over here. And I remember in the last episode I talked about putting in waist yarn, or lifeline, I should say, before I did the lace, and I'm so glad I did, because I had to rip this out like 2 times. I just kept messing up the lace. I don't know why. And so finally, I think by my 3rd time I said, whatever, if I have a mistake, that's it. Like, nobody's gonna notice. So but yeah, I did the medium size, and it's a nice size shawl. And the yarn I used is for the first part is Sweet Sparrow Yarns in her Queenie colorway, which is a fantastic Beast reference. I really like that character in the movie. And then the lace section is my own yarn in the coral colorway, and I knitted up in my Inez base, which is 100% superwash merino. And I think it goes really well. It's a 3-ply. It goes really well with lace knitting. Really shows off the lace. So yeah, I felt like I knit this I finished this like a million years ago. So I don't know. I don't remember if I have anything else to say. Well, I did block this on my new blocking mat and my blocking wires, which I finally own. I just bought them from Amazon. I wish I would have remembered. I would have brought them over to show you. And it's, I think it blocked out very nicely. So yeah, I'm glad I finally own a blocking mat and blocking wires. It's been a long time coming, and I'm gonna be continuing to use that. So yeah, I think that's it about this shawl. And so now onto my whips. I don't know if you can hear Tonka snoring, but he was just now. So my first whip is the Starting Point shawl by Johi Locatelli, and I think at this point people have seen it already. But if you haven't and don't want to get spoiled, then you should look away now. But I finished up to clue 3. I was pretty much on top of it as every clue was being released. I was like finishing up, so she would release them like Thursday night, and usually I would finish the clue for the week within a day of the release, or like the day of the release of the new clue, so I was able to keep up with it. But once clue 4 hit, I don't know, I got really busy with work, and I just couldn't keep up. So yeah, I finished up to clue 3, and I finished both sections. So here's how I was looking now. It's so big. Yeah, I'm really happy with this kit. So this is my own kit, Yoshi and Lucy, in the Georgia Peach colorway, which I had 2 kits for this shawl pattern, and this was by far the most popular of the 2. I really like it. I feel like, you know, each color goes with each other. It's not such a crazy contrast. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, then fine, but I just really like that it's subtle. It's all scrunched up in my bag because I haven't knit on this in a long time. Here's the second one, which is crumpled up because I had to switch needles because I needed the needles for another project, and so this is a much shorter needle, and I don't know if I'm just gonna wait until I finish my other project, so I have 3 needles. So yeah, I really enjoy this knit. I like doing this is my first mystery knit along. I really like doing it. You know, I trust Johi that at the end the product would be nice, and I've seen finished objects, and I've seen some of my customers finish theirs, and it was just very cool to see the finished product. The one thing I don't like is the twisted ribbing. I really don't like that part. I felt like this section right here took me forever. It's because it's not fun to do twisted ribbing for so long. So yeah, I might pick this up as soon as I finish another project, which I will show you. And I'm just looking at my printout. Yeah, clue 4 next. So my second whip is my Fairy Hill shawl. The last episode I talked about that I was going to cast this on, and that's pretty much what I've been working on this whole month. It's just this shawl. So it's a Fairy Hill shawl by Helen Stewart, and this is part of her Shawl Society 2 collection. Now, I wasn't gonna buy it, and I saw this pattern, and then the second pattern, the second shawl pattern from the kit, from the collection, and I just said, oh, I'll get it. And I enjoyed the amulet shawl. So so the yarn I'm using is my own yarn because I need another sample, and so the speckled part is called Under the Sea, and the blue part is Still Waters. and I'm knitting this on my Briante base, which is my sparkle. It's my Stellina, silver Stellina base. So I don't know if you can see the Stellina, but I think it goes really well with this pattern, especially because it's called Fairy Hill, and you know, it has beads, and I didn't want to order beads, and I've never knit with beads before, and from what I've read, people say it takes much longer to knit with beads. So I thought, you know, using a Stellina yarn is good enough for me. And the Progress Keeper is where I started, where I went on a trip recently, so I put the marker in to see how much I would knit during my trip. So I think I did mess up this blue section here. I think at some point I had 2 little stitches. I don't know what I was doing. So in this shawl, the increases are done at the ends, and I must have messed up somehow. You know, a lot in Helen Stewart patterns, each row at the end you can it has like a check off section and a percentage just to show you how far along you are, and the stitch count. So I think at some point I started counting just to double check, and I had way too few stitches, and I tried to fix it and it still wasn't fixed, and I just said forget it. I don't feel like ripping this out, so I don't think it's that noticeable. Looking in the camera now, I can't really tell where my mistake is, but I think it might have been in the beginning of this blue section. So I am like 90% done with this. I have like 4 more rows to go, and I was hoping to finish it before I podcasted, but it just didn't happen. So I really like this. I don't know what shawl I'm gonna knit with next. I think the second one is a half pie shawl, I think, and I've never knit one of those before, and I think it has like a billion stitches, and if I see something has a billion stitches, I tend to not want to knit that. Or maybe I'll knit the new one when it comes out. We'll see. Been very focused on just one project at a time lately, just because I've been very busy and I've had other stuff going on that I just don't feel this urge to cast on a million things, or I haven't even cast on socks for June, which is insane because I always have a pair of socks on the needles. Before I went on my trip, I was trying to figure out like what yarn to cast on for socks, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling anything in my stash that I just had to cast on right away, so I didn't take socks with me on my trip. And I took this shawl, and you know, I took a bus to visit my friend in Ohio for her baby shower, and so I had to sit next to somebody, and I felt awkward about, you know, knitting because this, you know, limited space with such a big project, so I didn't actually knit at all on my way there. But on my way back, I had nobody sitting next to me the whole trip, so I knit on this a lot. And I was very happy because I had all the space I needed. So yeah, I feel like some of my knitting lately has been boring, just because that's all I mean, I just post this project on Instagram if you follow me on there. But yeah, whatever. I'm sure at some point I'll feel the urge to cast on a ton of stuff again. But right now it's just nice to just focus on one project, and I think everybody needs to do that sometimes. So on to my acquisitions. In the end of May, I went to the Long Island Fiber, and I think it's called Long Island Fleece and Fiber Fair, which is like all the way at the end of Long Island, almost at the tip. And I've never been that far into Long Island. I have a cousin that lives maybe like half an hour away from the fair, and it was just very weird. I went with my family, so we were just driving there, and then all of a sudden it just turns from like homes to like country, like farms and stuff. I was like, I had no idea that there was farms out there in Long Island. So it was a cool experience. So when I was at the Fiber Festival, I saw this booth for lamb strings yarn, which is in indie dyer based in Long Island, and the dyer is Shauna, who is also a host of a knitting podcast called Strings and More. So I knew of her, and I knew she was going to be there, so I introduced myself and let her know who I am, and I gave her some yarn for her knit along that she's doing right now. So I first saw this colorway in a sock base, and I'm trying to not buy as much sock weight yarn. And then I realized that I did want to purchase yarn to knit the Color Field shawl, which is a DK weight shawl. So I picked this up. This is called Sexy Librarian. And then to go along with that for the shawl is Sparks. Yeah, her yarn's really pretty. And I'm debating when I should cast this on. I don't know if I should knit this when it's in the summer, or if I should wait until the fall, but I'm glad I actually purchased yarn for a project in mind and not just randomly buy yarn, which is what I usually do. So yeah, and so this is my first time at that festival, and it was pretty small. So we didn't spend that much time there. It was just nice to get out and to explore another part of New York that I've never been to. So my second, well, I actually have 3 acquisitions. I forgot. So I have my Under the Sea, or my Fairy Hill shawl, in my new project bag. From Darn Yarn MN. I saw this fabric and I had to buy it. It's Wonder Woman, and I love the little peekaboo section here, so I can see the yarn and the project inside. So yeah. And then my third acquisition is Knox yarn. So Danielle, I've been following her for a while, and we chat back and forth on Instagram, and I've been really wanting to try out her yarn. So she had this new colorway up for pre-order, and I snatched it up. So this is her Sugar Hiccup colorway. It's her Mars sock, which is 75% merino, 25% nylon. And her yarn is so amazing. She's very popular. You have to she's like one of those dyers you have to catch her updates, right when it happens, because a lot of her yarn sells out. But I think she still has some stuff in, the last time I checked, which was yesterday, she has some stuff in there. So if you haven't tried her, you should. She gave me these 2 little minis, which was nice of her. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to make socks. Some things are just too pretty to go on your feet, I don't know. I'm just going to let it marinate for a bit. So I guess I'll talk about my trip first. So I went to Ohio to my best friend lives out in Ohio, and she was having her baby shower. She's having her second baby in August. so I've shown before that I was working on a baby blanket for her, and I wanted to finish it for the baby shower, but it didn't happen. um, so I was like, okay, well, I need to make something for the baby, and I just went looking in my stash, and well, actually the shop stash, and so I picked out this colorway, and this is Aloha Mora, and this is in my Dahlia base, which is 100% superwash merino in worsted weight. So I knit the Bailey hat, or the Barley hat by Tin Can Knits. I knit the smallest size, which is baby size, and that knit up super quick. And then I had a lot of yarn left over, so I said, oh, I should knit some socks. So I knit the Ray socks, which is also by Tin Can Knits, and the sizes run from like baby to like large male. So I didn't have the right needles. I was supposed to cast on the cuff on a US 3 and then change to a US 5. I don't have a US 5. I don't know why. And so I decided to. I originally cast on the baby size, and I was just knitting it on a size 3, and I thought that they were going to be too small. You know, babies grow fast. So I ripped them out. I cast on the toddler size on a US 3 and just knit those, and they turned out really big. You know, like I showed my mom afterwards. She's like, "What are you doing? That's not a baby sock. Like that's for like a toddler. Like for Aria. Like she's 3 years old. That you could fit her." I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like babies' feet grow fast." And you know, when I gave it to my friend, she said, "You know, that's fine. She's not gonna wear them outside anyway because she's afraid that she's gonna lose them." She says babies lose their socks all the time, so she's just gonna wear them when she goes to sleep. So it worked out. So I still have a lot left over. I don't know if I have enough to make a matching hat for her sister, who's 3. I might weigh this later and see if I can make matching Bailey hat for her. So that would be cute for them to have matching hats. We'll see. Yeah, I will go back to that blanket at some point. I do want to knit that, since I already made like 20 of those little hexy things. And I feel like that would just be a waste for me not to finish it. So yeah, last week I was gone all week, and that's why I didn't record. So for shop news, the reason that I've been not recording and been really busy is that I've had several wholesale accounts, which is something that I've been trying to do for the last few months. Just been like emailing some yarn stores, seeing if they're interested in purchasing yarn, and luckily I got my first order to Colorful Yarns, which is a yarn store in Colorado. So I was very busy, like dyeing up a large order for them, and then I was busy dyeing more of these Hohi kits, and I just said, well, I need to like just take a break from podcasting and just focusing on those things. So so they got their yarn, and then shortly after that I got a second wholesale order to a store in Columbus, Ohio, and so I'm dyeing that yarn now. I'm almost done with that, and now I have a third shop, a third order, which is like the biggest order I've had for a yarn store in New Jersey. And I'll announce the stores once I ship them out. I don't know. I just don't want to announce the stores until the order's actually done, you know? And so I have that big order to do. So yeah, I'm really happy that, you know, my shop is expanding, my business is expanding, and I like doing wholesale just because, you know, I have a set amount of skeins I have to dye, a set amount of colorways, and I just like having that structure set out. And you know, I know I have to, you know, get this much done and this amount of time frame, and then I have to ship it out. And I also had my first trunk show, which I didn't get to announce on Instagram because it was very last minute. Um, I sent out an email to this yarn store called the Naked Sheep in Staten Island to see if they were interested in wholesale, and they offered to do like a week-long trunk show. But since I was leaving, you know, I was going away for a week, I had to, it would happen very fast. Like by the time we set up everything, I just dropped off the yarn like within a two-day time frame, and they had it for a week. And then I picked it up the day before I left for my trip, so I didn't really have a lot of time to, you know, announce it. So people, if people wanted to go, they had time to plan. So I just didn't announce it. So hopefully, if I do get another trunk show in the future, I'll have lots of time to, you know, notify people if they're interested in going there. So yeah, I've been very busy, and I have quite a bit of new colorways that I've come up with since then. I don't think I'm going to go through all of them because it will take forever. But I have been dyeing some fade kits. If you saw that, there's the new Free Your Fade kit, which is a 3-skein shawl pattern. So this is by far my most popular one. So this is my, I think I'm calling it my Phoenix kit. So this color is called Canyon, and it's on my Isabel base. I have this set up for pre-order, so you can get anytime. And then this is Phoenix, and then this is Dark Magic, which I think is one of my favorite new colorways. It looks really nice dyed up on a Stellina base, which I don't have right now, but I might have to knit up a sample with this colorway soon. Yeah, the lighting here sucks. So this is my Rainbow Dash colorway, which I've had in the shop for a while now, and I wanted to build a fade kit around this. So I came up with 4 new colorways. So this is Senora. There you go. Barbie Girl, which also looks really nice on Stellina. Flores. And Blossoms. So yeah, I have this kit in the shop for pre-order. Trying to show them all at the same time. Yeah, I have these up for pre-order now. And I tend to dye those up really quickly, even though it says 1 to 2 weeks shipping, just to give me a buffer in case it comes up and I can't get to it right away. So I also dyed these in my Mercedes base, which is Superwash BFL and nylon. So here is Dark Magic and Canyon and Barbie Girl. I have a ton of stuff in the shop, and this is Lagoon, a new colorway. Graffiti, and I did a new tonal. So I realized I don't have a purple tonal in the shop, so this is That's my jam. I think that it goes well with graffiti. So then my third kit that I came up with is using two colorways I already have in the store. So the first one is Under the Sea. And then it fades into Expecto Patronum. And then the third colorway is called Ginger, blah blah blah. The third colorway is called Ginger, which is a reference to a Pokemon. So it's mostly blue over dyed with purple, and it has some purple and black and blue speckles, which is very light. Yeah, I think I might dye this in another base just to see how it is. I really like this colorway. So here's the set. I have one set that's ready to ship, and then the rest are dyed to order. There you go. And I think I'm gonna do five skein set with this, just because it's been really popular, and I did have a request for it, so look for that in a few weeks. So just the final thing is what I've been dyeing for the store for this week. I'm recording this on a Thursday, but I won't be able to upload this until Saturday, so this will all be in the store already. So I have Blossoms on Inez, which is 100% merino. Flores on Inez as well. And this is still a little damp, so I didn't skein it up, but here is Flores on my Sparkle, and then this is Senora on my Sparkle. It's very colorful here. So that's what I have right now, just because I've been busy with this wholesale. I don't have a lot to put in the store. I might dye up some more before then, so just check on Instagram if you want to see photos, or check my shop. You know, I always announce things on Instagram first. So yeah, I think that's it. I've had to stop and clearing out stuff on my phone for like the last half an hour just because I have no more room left, so I think it's a good time to end the episode here, and hopefully I'll get to record an episode in 2 weeks time, because I do miss doing podcasts. So I'll see you guys around. Bye.